Hey guys, it's Krillic, and we're going to be talking about the hardest thing in Fortnite to improve on, which is your movement. But don't worry, I'm going to give you guys some things that I did to improve, so let's get into our first tip. So for our first tip, we have time and practice. Now I know you guys are looking for something to do to improve instantly, but everything takes time, and with time, your practice will pay off. It'll improve your muscle memory, just make you less nervous, and an overall better Fortnite player. Things I did to practice, and I'm still practicing, are death runs. They build muscle memory, 1v1ing people, and focusing on taking advantage of different angles and peaks. Watching pros to learn how they do different things and pull off different moves. And finally doing some aim duels. If you've never heard of an aim duel, they're pretty simple. All you have to do is go into creative with a friend, and you both drop in a box with a gun of your choice, and you have a bunch of health. The first person to kill the other person wins the round. You want to try and use your movement to not get hit by your opponent while still trying to kill them. An aim duel map that I use will be linked in the description below. For our second tip, I cannot stress it enough. It's having a positive mindset. Have you guys ever heard the saying positive things happen to people with positive mindsets and negative things happen to people with negative mindsets? Well, if you guessed, that applies to video games too. Everybody gets frustrated and mad when things don't go your way, but if you just take a break and try again later, I'm sure it'll help. With our third tip, we have getting comfortable. This one's pretty important. Being comfortable is not just in Fortnite, but with your setup as well. So let's start talking about being comfortable in Fortnite first. So you guys are going to want to try to optimize your keybinds to fit your hand best. And with time, your binds will feel more natural to you. If possible, put as many binds on your pinky, thumb, and mouse side buttons if you have any. That will let your index and ring finger have more control over the two movement keys A and D. If that's uncomfortable though, don't force it. If you're just starting out on keyboard and mouse, any position that you put your hand in is going to feel pretty weird and uncomfortable. Just give it some more time, and if it still feels weird and uncomfortable, just change your keybinds. Next, you want to try and make sure you have a good sensitivity for you. Don't just go and try and copy your favorite streamer's sensitivity and think that's going to work for you, because in most cases, it won't. But instead, use their sensitivity as a base sensitivity and try and change it to your liking. But if you change your sensitivity too often, your aim will definitely struggle. So now let's start talking about getting comfortable at your setup. You're going to want to make sure that your monitor is at a good height, preferably eye level. You have a big enough mouse pad for your in-game sensitivity, a chair that fits you right, and a mouse that fits your hand. Now I know that can get pretty pricey, so what I tried to do is just adjust to my setup the best that you can, and always try and think of things that you can do to improve your setup. Tip number 4, practicing by yourself. Now I'm not saying it's bad to practice and play with friends by any means, but when I mainly improved, I played alone. Practicing by yourself helps you focus more, which then leads to you taking more in, and that leads to learning. So for our fifth and final tip, I have don't only play creative. In creative, you don't get that regular nervousness and different situations you would in a real game. What I did is I learned it in creative, and then I tried to apply it into my real games. With all that being said, I hope you learned some new tips and tricks, and I hope they help. If you want to get better, you have to put in the work. If this video was helpful, leave a like and sub to the channel. Also, let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments below. This is Krillic, and I'm out.